So this week, I wanted to do a gator trout show. We failed. I mean, it wasn't an epic fail. We still caught some really nice trout, but we failed. During that episode that we were trying to shoot and we thought it was gonna be one of those you just throw away, we hatched a plan to go gator hunting, actually go gator hunting, because John kept egging me on. Why are we trying to catch gator trout? Why don't we just go gator hunting? I got tags. Why don't we just go gator hunting? When you're into the fall, you got to really have a plan to go trout fishing. And the thing is they move around quite a bit. Our big challenge was we were dealing with some wind, so we were kind of relegated to fishing these compressed lee zones, and we were running out of time because we didn't have the best tide. It's hard to get schedules together. I mean, I was trying to manage my shoot schedule, John's busy schedule as the GM for Sodium Fishing Gear, and then Captain Billy Henderson is a busy everyday guide who not only is running his guide business, but he's got a marine repair business and a boat building business. So there were a lot of things to kind of juggle there. So it made it a challenge. So with the limited time we had, we were probably up against the number to try to make this thing happen. But I was still happy with the number of fish we caught. I just wanted to catch them a little bit bigger than that. There we go. I'm liking this. Liking this.
That's an old trout head shake there.
Yeah, you can tell by the head throws.
Yeah.
You like that skin series, huh?
Yeah, they do.
Gotta weed through a few small ones, get to the big ones.
You definitely liked it.
That's getting a little bit bigger though. He's getting a little bit bigger. I mean, he makes that 27 MR look a little small.
Yeah.
He makes it look a little small.
Now, do you want me to bring him in
You might be able to bring him in the boat. Yeah, try to pinch him behind the head, and that way, if you pinch him behind the head, you can control him and he can't slip out of your hand. Yeah, you gotta get that good grip behind his ears. I squeeze pretty hard.
Where's that?
Yeah, right in there. I squeeze pretty hard in there. If you keep him a little bit upside down, he won't move as much. Just like that. That's a respectable fish there too. Look how heavy they are. So this past moon, that full moon that just passed last week, was probably the first real spawning moon that we've had. So these fish are still pretty thick and they're all bunched up, all the bigger ones. That's approaching gator size. That one's probably about 19.
He's getting fat and pretty fish.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Now we'll do a little release here and get him back in the water, or get her back in the water, and I'll get you back up there again. When you're fishing fall trout and they're starting to move back to the creek mouths, back to those rocky points, from being more in an offshore or deeper flat scenario, you're wanting to catch big fish, and we talk about this on FlatsClass and FlatsClass YouTube all the time. You gotta use those bigger plugs, those bigger hard bait plugs or giant plastics. We decided or opted for the big MR27s, which is the Mirrolure XL. And the natural colors in the skin series were really producing big for Captain Billy. When you get into the fall, you start getting into those fronts. And when you're fishing those fronts, anything can happen. There he is. It's right in the same spot. Yep. John's gonna get right in there.
Well, you know, if that's where they're at, you know, that's where they're at.
Hey, I want you to catch a few.
You won't invite me back if I catch too many.
I want you to invite me to go gator hunting is what I want.
We should do that sometimes. Now that is a good time. You ever been gator hunting down there in Okeechobee?
Not in Okeechobee, no.
That's the place to be.
Look at that.
My wife's uncle has a place right there in Okeechobee. We need to do that one time.
I'm gonna hold you to that.
All right, a little gator hunting,
Little
gator trout, and then some gator hunting.
There you go.
What plug are you using there?
I'm using a custom color.
Custom
This
color.
This is a color called Dark and Stormy.
Okay.
dark and stormy. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Easy, buddy. There we go. I gotta get back to work.
Oh, don't let
John.
it go. Don't let it go.
So we ground literally all day for those trout. And it was obvious that we probably didn't have enough for an episode of FlatsClass, because I want to bring you guys the best. So we ended up following through with that hatched plan where John was kind of like, come on, man, I've got tags, we can go real gator hunting. And I was like, you know what? The only time I'd ever really done anything with gators was pretty much jug line, hooking them where they're baited, and it's just not the same thing. When he said that we could do it with a rod and a reel, and there was going to be some precise casting involved, I thought, you know what, this could be fun. I'm down for it, let's do it. Let's go ahead and plan it. And that put the wheels in motion. John had me signed up for that so fast before I could change my mind. It was amazing. You would have thought he was a professional salesperson, and he is a professional salesperson, isn't he?
Well, we caught some good trout. We didn't quite get that gator I was looking for.
Well, I think I'm gonna lean on you to go gator hunting this summer.
You really want to do that?
What you need to do is, if you don't draw a tag and I don't draw a tag, we need to leverage someone to get a tag so we can go do it.
I know a guy, my wife's uncle Braxton, man. He's got the place, got plenty of guys with tags, so we can do it.
Hey, the more the merrier. I want to do it.
Well,
It'll make up for tonight. I think what happened here is it got warm too quick. I mean,
yeah.
we had such cold weather, and then all of a sudden it just got super warm.
Yeah.
I can tell you one thing that we're not going to let happen. We're not going to let these bugs eat us alive,
no.
Because I can feel them. The wind's dropped out. It's beautiful. I say we ride off into the sunset and go back to the ramp.
Sounds like
Get back to the campground, my friend.
That'll work.
So the day arrives when we're packing gear up and throwing it in the back of my truck. So I'm taking everything, my Yeti bedroll, I'm taking all this stuff that you'd go camping with, because he said, the camp's not too bad. He goes, you're gonna like the camp. He didn't let me know what the camp was really like. He goes, you're gonna kinda like the camp. But I was expecting, okay, well, there'll probably be a trailer there, and it was gonna be like roughing it. It was not roughing it. This was the biggest man camp of all time. I mean, it was glorious.
Braxton's place down in Buckhead Ridge, right there in Okeechobee. It's just a great place. Sleeps like 27 people, I think. We had all the guys there gator hunting, and it's just, you have that camaraderie of just being at camp, riding airboats and going after gators. So it's an awesome time, whether you're duck hunting or gator hunting. So yes, we're down here now on Okeechobee. This is a little different than what we're used to, going out there fishing for all those redfish and trout, huh?
Yep, there's a lot more skeeters. There's a lot more skeeters.
What do they call it? The Clewiston Cologne?
The Clewiston Cologne.
Right.
Randy has clued us in back here that you need some DEET and plenty damn of it to make it Clewiston Cologne. But I'm damn glad we've got it, because we need it.
They will carry you away.
Oh, they're carrying us away. I'm glad it's blowing a little bit, but
yeah.
All right, we're going lizard hunting.
Absolutely.
Big lizard hunting.
Big ones.
There's see the lizard.
That's right. There's some big lizards down here, so I'm excited. So in Florida, there is a couple of different ways you can gator hunt, but we prefer snatch hooks, casting at gators. It gives the gator a little bit more of a fighting chance and a lot more sport to it. And then obviously it starts at 5 in the evening, so you only have a couple hours of daylight, and then once that sun goes down, it gets a lot more difficult. So you're casting at the gators, hopefully kind of locating them so you can get near them and get that big snatch hook into them. And then once you do that, it's on. Where's my line? Is it on him?
Oh, you got him. You got him.
That ain't bottom. Damn it. Got another one.
You got a moving bottom.
He's a little guy, I think.
The snare's got the, is just the loop. It's in one of the rod holders. We just need to get it around his head.
Oh, there's his
Oh,
mouth.
there's the head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Noose. You want to noose him? He's small.
I love it when we call 7 feet small. Yeah, I catch a 7-foot tarpon. I'm telling you, Randy, I'm excited.
We're putting
I
work
just don't-
to this double X now. All right, here he comes.
Get him back up again.
That was nice. I like just watching CA do that.
You like that?
Yeah, cinch it down and hold on.
Just go over him really easy and then cinch it.
There he is, right there. Cinch it. Yay! Good job! That's a double thing.
When asked by some of my neighbors and some of my close fly fishing buddies who aren't into gator hunting, they're like, so how was gator hunting? And I was like, you know, it's a lot like fishing for tarpon. Boring as hell. It's very boring, but it's interrupted by moments of just sheer panic and chaos. And that is the real description, because there's sometimes you're out there for 4 hours and nothing happens. And there's sometimes when there's a gator popping up everywhere and you get lots of opportunities, and then you're trying to decide, we only have 2 tags. Do we want to waste it throwing at that one, or do we want to try to go for this big one? So it's a lot of fun. And Braxton and Randy, those 2 guys there, they made this happen, because they were the 2 guys that knew exactly what to do at the second, and I mean the split second it had to happen. They knew exactly what to do. The rest of us, we're just along for the ride. No, I got fish. Oh, I had him. I hooked. Yeah, well, I was just throwing to get ahead of him. I just thought if I threw way down ahead of him, I'd run into him. Got him. We ended up blowing that gator off the bank, and we both blind cast down there. I had stuck him. He ran, pulled free. Then we just sat here and we just kind of just kept combing the bottom, and John just stuck him. Now we're just trying to get in a position where we can fight this gator with some of the bigger tools. Damn it, man.
You got him there.
Got him there.
Could get a harpoon rig?
You want me to take that rod while you're doing that?
Yes, take
Yeah,
this
got
one.
the rod. Oh, this line's off. So we're down to 1 line. He's right under the bow.
No, that's good. You're done. Now pull it in.
Okay.
Anything, stick.
You got him?
You got him too?
Yep.
Okay. I got him too.
Got him in the leg.
We all
Stick
got
him
him.
with another harpoon.
We all got him.
Oh, man, you
Whoa,
got
whoa,
him.
whoa,
Lean
whoa.
on, John.
He's got the-
Lean on.
Go.
Hard. Got one buried? A couple tugs. Boy, he's all buggered up in the mouth.
Oh, yeah, yes.
Yeah, he ain't going nowhere now.
All right. Come on, Brax. First time.
Termite.
Woo!
You always get somebody expendable to grab the.
Yes, that's key. It's got to be somebody that you know.
An expendable. You now let your down. Easier. just to get him up to slow so they get the blood out of it. Even on
I think I went this one.
You got a little snout problem there. 1, 2, 3.
Oh yeah, we had them hooked well. All right, Braxton put us out here. Last night we got warmed up. We got 5 of them in the dark.
Yes.
None of them of this caliber. We had one that we were trying to make our mind up, but by the time we made our mind up, he yo-yoed off. Then he brings us out here this morning and we see this one other just like it, and then
The dinosaur.
the dinosaur.
Yes, yes. But this is nothing to sneeze at.
Nothing to sneeze at. And then Randy had a shot at him from the bank. He's the guy that grabbed the head of the gator and wrapped him up. He's the expendable of our team. So he didn't have a shot on that bank, so when he made a cast and it spooked off, I threw in front of it, hooked it once, and then it ran off, and then it pulled free. And then John backed up with another cast. And when John backed up with that cast, that's the cast that actually hooked this. And then you can see it was controlled chaos after that. I got a bigger knife if you need it.
Y'all got that mouth tape, did you?
All right, we're gonna make this guy legal and get his tag put in.
generally we get tons of blood.
And there we go.
He's gonna start throwing here.
And we are legal beagle. Good stuff, buddy.
Nice job, boys.
What do you think?
I'm gonna guess he's close to 11.
All right,
I'm gonna guess he's close to 11.
we got a little cut on the tail, right?
Yep, we got a little cut on the tail.
And he
If I
is.
give him a little Kentucky windage for the tail,
Well, you know, he's about 2 inches or so short of 11, so I'm gonna call him about 10.8, 10.9, somewhere around there.
and when you look at his eye crown to his nose, it's
Yeah.
about 11 inches, so
That's
that's pretty close.
Oh, somebody once told me that there's a greater... What?
All right, got 2 sets of tackle to talk about today, gator trout and gators. So let's tackle gator trout first. One of the cool things about fishing for big trout is you're gonna be using these larger hard baits. Now, the 27 MR, ideal bait for fall trout. And you will catch the larger ones. When you come up here, you'll notice that the stock hooks have been replaced with these Mustad KVD triple grip hooks. Now these hooks are a little lighter than, and I'll put them together here where you can see them. They're a little lighter in size and gauge. And what that does is it allows this 27 MR to fall even slower in the water, almost as if it's a topwater plug that just gets below the surface where you can hard flash it. When you're fishing a lot of the rock and the lightning rock that we fish around here on the Nature Coast, that's a big advantage. It's also a big advantage if you're fishing over turtlegrass flats because it keeps you out of the grass. Standard Skin Series 27 MR is probably gonna weigh about 9/16, which is a little over a ½ ounce. Once you change the hooks out, changes the weight of the bait. It's just a hair under a ½ ounce. I mean, it's just barely, but that little bit gives it a little slower fall, buys you a little bit more time to negotiate the rock, negotiate the shell bars, or negotiate turtle grass, and it makes a huge difference. All right, now moving on to our gator hunt. This is tackle that I actually use in tarpon season. So I'm gonna move my trout gear to the side here. And this is what you'd call guerrilla fishing. No leader required. We're using like a 2-ounce snatch hook here. And these have been sharpened on a hook sharpening machine. So they are laser sharp. You'll notice I have a double line here, and I'll show it to you. I'll split it for you without getting myself hooked. I put a bimini just like so that I've got a 20-turn bimini. So I double Palomar'd it here, and I have a bimini knot here. This is 40-pound Power Pro Super Slick on here. Now, when we actually fish for the gators, especially at night, we put a very small light stick that we attach right here. And what we do that for is so that we can see where this is flying in the air in those low light situations and put it right over the top of that neck shoulder zone to hook those gators and get them hooked up and attached. This is a standard Terramar Double X. This is a Shimano extra heavy rod. It's the same rod that I use to fight 90 to 150 pound class tarpon. And on my Shimano Saragossa 8000, I have it packed with 40 pound Power Pro Super Slick V2. You've got to have that 40 pound line so that when you hook that gator up, you're able to hold him at bay more or less as the boat moves to them, and they're not going to run and jump like a tarpon. You've got to just have the fish under control until you can close the gap between your boat and the gator itself. Once you're there, you know, 40 pound is plenty strong enough. Once you're there, then you can use a laundry list of tools and equipment that Braxton and Randy had there for us to harvest the gator. Hope you enjoyed this unique episode of FlatsClass.